Shamai, which I've been corrected on the spelling. In fact, so I should, this is something I've learned this week, Dylan E, spell it, S-H-W-M-A-I. I don't fully know the reason why, so if you know the fully reason why it's spelt that way, then please do put it in the comments. I don't know if it's a dialect thing or whether M-A-E, which is the way that I've been spelling it, is something to do with something else, and I forgot to ask my tutors. So I'll come back to that because I was late putting up the video. But you just heard me say Dylani, which is I should, which kind of brings us to new phrases that we're learning at the moment that are kind of already linked to what we've already learned, which is actually quite cool. So we've got Dylani, which is I should, and we haven't done it yet. It's going to be next week, but we're looking at hoffani and hoffani and galloni, which would be I would like but shortened down, and I could, because of course galley is, or doing galley I'm able, doing hoffi I like, so hoffani I would like, and galloni I could be able, I could do that. But what we focused on this week, I don't know why it comes as its own unit and the other one is split into two, was Dylan. Dylani, I should, or Dylati vind, you should go. As an individual, I don't like the phrase should, because you should do that. Just as an individual, as a person, I'm not a fan of the phrase I should do something or you should not do something. It's like, who are you to tell me what I should and should not do? But either way, I've learnt the phrase anyway, courtesy of Bidig a Richard, and it's great because we're back into these columns of Dylan. In fact, I'm going to jump straight to the end. I'm going to go to the help flow to help me get these all correct. Help flow, at the end of every unit, there is a helping hand. Help, a flow, hand. And when I finally get there, we'll see that we've got Dylani, I should, Dyleti, you should, Dylai ve, or he should or she should, Dyleni, we should, Dylechi, you should, and Dylen who, they should. So Dylan who, keep the noise down. They should keep the noise down. I will learn more Welsh, seeing as we're coming to the end of this Sylfaen unit, which is actually only kind of dawned on me that we're coming to the end of it, which means that we've got many a week of revision, which is quite exciting because, as I mentioned before, I've signed up for the exam because why not? So Dylani, it's another really useful phrase though, and I mentioned this way back at the beginning of the Sylfaen level, is that the Mynediad only got us so far, but I still felt like we missed out on these key phrases that I use in everyday language. And what Sylfaen has done is it's built these extra phrases and this extra vocabulary and this extra structures into existence that just make speaking the way that I speak more natural in Welsh and in English, which I appreciate a lot. And Dylani, I should do that, or Dyleti, you should do that, is just one of those things that I think is going to help with just conversing in general. And it's really simple. So you've got Dylani smuddio, Dylani hwfro, I should hoover, Dylani olchi'r car. One thing that I have just noticed there, because I've underlined it, is that after Dylani, usually when we speak in sentence structures, there's an un. So dwi'n with an e apostrophe n, dwi'n olchi'r car, or dwi'n olchi'r car, I am washing the car. Now we don't have the un, I'm pointing the pen at you, we don't have un with Dylani because you wouldn't say I should washing the car. All we've got is Dylan e olchi'r car, and because we've got the e, we've got ourselves a nice soft mutation there as well. So Dylani'r olchi'r car and Dylani dorri'r lawnt, I should cut the lawn, or Dylani dorri'r porfa, cut the grass, I think, the garden kind of thing. So Dylani dorri as opposed to torri, and Dylani olchi as opposed to golchi. So remember that soft mutation, because it's going to be, it's a theme of this. And one thing that's interesting though is that with the negative, not only do you have soft mutation at the beginning, so you've got ddwln I ddim, but the ddim gets rid of the need for the soft mutation. So it would be ddwln I ddim torri'r lawnt. And that's arguably the most important thing to remember with this, is that you get soft, there's no there's a soft mutation after it, unless it's the negative. And I've kind of rounded it up in that piece of phrasing there. There's also one other thing which I haven't appreciated until now, and I've never noticed it, but Beth always has, so what, always has a soft mutation after it. So Beth ddyle ti wneud heno. So you've got that to contend with as well. And then if I'm asking someone to do something, or that they should do something, there would also be the ddwlns there as well. So ddwln I fynd adre nawr. Should I go home now? There's a ddwln. Ddyle ti fynd adre now. Should you go home now? Ddylai Sam fynd adre now. There's a soft mutation there. Should Sam go home now? So soft mutation at the beginning of ddwln, and ddwln I fynd, you've got the soft mutation there as well, because it's posing the question, and you've got the E, which causes soft mutation on the ddwln, and the I fynd adre nawr. And that's kind of the unit in a nutshell, to be honest. We went back through listening examples, taking messages for people, which is going to be in the exam. Also looking at different themes to talk about as well, because of course another aspect of the siarad part of the exam is going through different phrases, different categories. That's what I'm looking for, and we need to talk about them. There's 5. We're going to be given 5 out of the long list that we've got, and we need to ask a few questions of it. And that's kind of that's where we got to last week, with this week's lessons. And just generally speaking, it's just really nice to learn another really useful phrase, even if it's one which is a should, which me as an individual doesn't like. Hoffwn and gallwn, it is gallwn, isn't it? I started off, yes, gallwn will be phrases that I will use far more often than ddwln. But again, you need to know these things, because it helps you form bigger vocabulary, bigger structures, and helps you think more in Welsh as well, which is what's really important. Until next time, that's my little update for you this today on Uned 22 and Uned 23 wythnos nesa. Hwyl am y tro. Hwyl!